people, we are live. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, 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 bing. I haven't been live for a long time. I've been way too busy. Welcome to the MUFC Realist TV and my honorable guest, Mr. Phil Standish, Mr. Philosophy himself. How you going, Philly?
Yeah, good. Thanks. How you doing? All right.
Yeah, I'm all right. Just being
good. The derby weekend.
I haven't even been thinking about it, mate. I've been so busy with designing, working on the Glazes Out video, working on the football agent videos, content. So 22 hours a day, mate, and just a little bit sleep. And now it really hits me. It's Friday, TGIF, and I'm just going like, hang on, it's Derby Day on Sunday. And am I nervous? No. Are you? The only thing I'm nervous is about Haaland, but let's talk about Haaland later.
Yeah. Okay, I think so. That's probably a good idea because that's kind of the go-to point, isn't it? That is the biggest thing to be concerned about. But yeah, we can come back to that later.
I reckon. I don't know, man. I'm just I'm pumped. I'm confident. I think that I'll get to the score prediction later, but I think it's going to be a good game, though. Like, I wish I was there, but obviously I'm not.
I think when we look at what happened before in the Liverpool game, I know that
I was
we
confident.
turned up at that, and people they weren't expecting. Nobody was expecting it, and I think even against City now, no one's expecting it, and I think that helps. I really think that helps when people don't expect you to turn up and they think that you've got no chance. I think that and we're not favourites at all. I know it's the Etihad.
It's noisy neighbours.
Yeah, at the end of it, I think that just gives us a chance.
You reckon? I think we have a fairly good chance, actually, to be honest. I'm confident, very confident. I'm not scared about Haaland. I'm not scared about City. I know that they're quite weak at the back. So
they've got a couple of injuries as well, haven't they? John Stones is out, and I think Cancelo's out as well.
Yeah.
Which gives us a chance because they have had frailties at the back. They have, even though they've been scoring goals, they've still been conceding goals. So I think that is what gives us the belief that we can get something from it.
Well, I got my Eric down here. See, I got my little Eric mascot here. Do you see him? I brought my Eric with me. What do you say, Eric? Yeah, we will win. Okay. Hey, you have questions? Hey, you want Ronaldo? Hey.
Yeah, Ronaldo.
Did you see the presser?
I've not had a chance to. I've been busy all day. I've not had a chance to. I was hoping to catch it before we came on, but I've not had a chance to catch it.
No, I've been so busy, to be honest. Like, literally been sitting and editing and trying to play with the lighting here, so just to get a better light. That's how. So, am I better? Not better. Not better. Hang on a second. I do this better.
Yeah, I can see it just as well.
All good, but it's Friday. No, it's seriously, I don't know. I didn't even feel it was Friday today. I haven't even watched the World Cup qualifiers or whatever was friendlies, whatever. I didn't even watch Maguire's. Not even watch one single fan channel. Nothing. I've just been too busy, Literally was
absolutely.
sitting and finishing my 2 hours episode ground zero of Glazes Out show, and then I'm also working on the football agent show, which are bringing on some agents, Jonathan Barnett, and a lot of those agents coming. Even spoke to actually Donny van der Beek's agent's going to come on and going to do recording with him next week as well. So things are picking up, and just very humble that even if I haven't been on doing a lot of live streams, I checked. I started 7 weeks ago. I wasn't supposed to start, right? So I've just been learning, and I know what graphics is, what motion design is, and I'm quite good at doing that. I'm crazy, but
yeah,
I don't know what YouTube is and how to do YouTube. So I've been learning on the job, basically. But yesterday, So yesterday I checked my YouTube channel and I go like, what? So I had about 6.4 thousand followers in subscribers in 7 weeks, and I just want to reach out to everyone there to say thank you so much. I don't know how much I can express myself, but you should know how much time and effort I actually spend on this. It's a lot. You know it, Phil, right?
I can verify that it is an awful lot. I thought I went to bed late, but I go to bed and Mick carries on, and then I get up and I think he's still going again. So
Yep.
yeah, there's like a 2 hour window where he seems to, whether he sleeps or what, I don't know. At some point, I
Yeah,
think he gets
true.
forced fed as well. So
Anyway, people, are you listening? The link is in the description, so feel free to come on board, have a chat with me and Phil. We are super pumped. It's Friday night, TGIF. We're looking forward for Sunday. It's going to be massive, mate. I think it's going to be massive. So, who do we have in the? What you thinking? What's going on? What's been happening with Harry Maguire? And I saw the press a little bit, and it's typical of the British press. Like this, instead of asking footballing questions, they go straight into the gossip and what's up with the Harry? Like, oh, he's
yeah,
injured. But one thing that I took away from the presser was to say that Eric has been trying to talk to him, like in terms of, but he recognized it's a mentality thing, right? It's a mental thing. That's what I heard now, like on the presser. He said it basically, like, we have spoken to him, we believe in him, we know he's good. There's typical things that you say somebody to motivate somebody, but it sounded like, you know, if you listen to carefully what he said, it sounded like, no, he doesn't really want to listen, or he's got some problems, like mental problems. But you know, I'm not the one going in on players, to be honest, but I just judge the player on the pitch. What he does personally, it's not my business. I never booed him. I'm never, I don't think he's been performing well. I don't
yeah.
think he's worth the 70 million, 75 million. It's quite a robbery. So, and the thing is, I'm a United supporter, so I support the club, right? So I think that he doesn't fit the Eric Ten Hag style of play. So I I don't know if he's limping, not injured. Like, it's not for me to decide, but I always want to play the best team. What's your opinion?
I think with Maguire, I feel sorry for him because he was a good player. Everyone was raving about him when he first joined.
Yeah.
To be fair, most United fans were, even for the first season or so. I think his turning point came when he had that situation in Greece, that personal situation.
Yes.
To
Yeah,
me,
yeah, it was something. Yeah.
he has never been the same player since. Whether
What
that
happened?
seriously affected him mentally, I know he had, I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks out to try to sort his life out essentially and come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think at that point, captaincy should have not been given to him and just said, look, we've got enough on your plate. Let's give it
Yeah.
somebody else. Let's take that pressure away.
100%.
Um,
100%.
Different managers, different styles. I think obviously we've seen with Ten Hag, one of the things we know that one of the things that Harry misses is speed, awareness. He's just so many little things are just rocking him at the moment. And I think you make one mistake and suddenly five come back to his mind, and he's thinking, "Oh, I've messed up again, and I've got to rise above this. I've got to do better." But even against England the other day, you could just see that when he made that mistake, I've not seen the whole game, but I did
No, I
see.
didn't even watch it. So, don't know.
Basically, he took a heavy, and then he tried to win it back, and then not giving a penalty away. And you could see the camera zoom straight in on his face. It wasn't looking at the action of what had happened, and you could just see the despair in his face, just like, "Give me a break," sort of thing, And he does some things well, but I just feel sorry for him. I think a player of his caliber, so to speak, his price tag, he's not the sort of person you generally see go out on loan. It's not very often you see a 75
No.
million defender go on loan, but I think that's exactly what he needs right now. A chance
I
to
mean,
go on loan to another Premier League club, reset. It's not going to happen because he's essentially the captain of United. But I just don't think he'll be here much past January if Ten Hag gets
no,
somebody else
I
into the
mean,
play.
I don't think he will be. I mean, I'm not going to talk about transfers right now, like, but
No,
I received information that he was. I knew in the summer that he was on the transfer list anyway, but they just
yeah,
couldn't find a club for him or loan or whatever. And there was genuine interest from Chelsea, like, to have him. But yes, I feel sorry for him because when I used to watch him at Leicester, right, I thought he was brilliant, but he was a different
I
playing
was.
style. Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't play a high line, not that I remember. But
I do think it's about pace with him. I just think he hasn't got the reaction speed to it. I mean, you see, I don't think Vidic was that fast, but he
no,
had a faster mind and he was able to react. And
yeah,
he had Rio with him, and they made a great partnership.
mm,
And essentially, Maguire is the sort of build of Vidic, but he's not got the movement and reaction
mm.
speed of Vidic. So I think that's definitely impacted his game.
No, I think. I mean, okay. So, judging from the presser, the ins, it looks quite positive. It was a little bit scary, like I think it was yesterday. I just turned in and say, "Oh, Rashford is a doubt. Martial is a doubt."
That's right.
They're both training, which is I think it's a tactics also to Guardiola not to say that Rashford's going to start, because there's one thing that he fears most is Rashford on the break. We've seen it time and time again,
Yeah.
like in the pace, because their backline is I don't know, it's good but
Vulnerable,
not good
isn't it?
enough. Hmm?
Yeah, it's vulnerable.
It is.
Cal Walker's still has great moments, but in recent games he's shown he's not the player he has been in the past.
Hmm. And then the
Um,
midfield picks itself, like there's 7 or 8
yeah,
of them. Kevin Van. But let's talk about Haaland. I haven't seen one single game. I swear to God, this is the first season I haven't watched many games. I usually watch every game, no matter who's
right.
playing. But I've been so busy, so I haven't even watched one single City game. I haven't even watched one single Haaland goal. That's how red
Really.
I am. Yeah, I'm so
So,
red.
well, I think the best thing to say. I mean, I've been watching on Match of the Day, and I've watched a couple of matches because I just love watching football. But I think the thing to say about Haaland is he can score different types of goals, many, from different angles. Um, I mean, that goal, I can't remember who it was who they played last now, but
Hmm.
whoever they played last, that last minute goal that he scored, or the last 2 or 3 minutes that won them the game, he basically just jumped off one leg and almost had his other leg at a 90-degree angle, and it was unbelievable the leap that he did, and to get his foot that high, that his foot was like this above the defender sort
Yeah.
of thing, and he just perfectly timed it and just got his foot on the
I
cross
mean,
and just
have you seen the size of him? He's a proper Viking.
he's a monster,
Really,
isn't
like
he?
he's a
He's an
monster. He's
absolute
like
monster.
he's like bigger version, like size wise, like bigger version of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. They're pretty much similar, like in terms of the
It,
physicality.
it reminds me of Thor.
Yeah,
Just
a
doesn't just
Thor.
doesn't carry the hammer around.
But he's
But
not pretty. He's not.
do
He's not a pretty bastard.
you know what I mean? His size, his stature, his bulk, everything. He just comes across like that to me. He is just an absolute beast. But yeah, I think he's obviously going to be the danger man. But what we've got to remember is you can't just mark him in the game because they've got so much influence from midfield. De Bruyne's hitting. I mean, De Bruyne hits a slump, but it's not really a slump. It was a slump for him, but very little. And then obviously Foden, De Bruyne, both supply and Bernardo. All playing great passes through balls, through just running them. I mean, the defence naturally mark Haaland and leave gaps. We've seen it in other games where the gaps are just created. I think it was against Palace. Was it the last game? Palace or Villa or something like that. And the runs he was making, and you could see the fear in the defenders. They didn't know which way to go or where to watch, and he just finds those gaps. So, yeah, he is definitely going to be the biggest challenge, but I don't think he's the only challenge, and I think Ten Hag will be very aware of that. We've seen Martinez go up against Haaland when he was at Ajax, and he did actually dominate Haaland, but it doesn't mean it'll happen again. So he's definitely going to be the danger man.
Now, people, if you're listening, don't be afraid of the Viking. We have the Hobbit, Mr. Martinez. Come on. Now, seriously, I had an interview with his agent. It's coming out. And he was speaking very, very fondly about him. Like, he was back in Argentina.
About Martinez, agent, yeah?
Yeah, Martinez. back in Argentina, people were doubting him, but his agent was always like motivating him, putting him on, like, because he saw something in him. It's like he's so technical. He's got a lethal left foot, but he's a modern day center back. Like, I think, yeah, one on Haaland, maybe he can get pushed away physically. But anyway, we got Varane as well. Those two together,
Yeah.
the back line this year is just amazing. I'm pumped. I don't know. Just,
I'm
I think it's
looking
going to be
forward to
good.
it. Be a
Yeah,
great game. And I think Martinez has got. He's a bit of a pit bull, isn't he? The way he
yes,
approaches the
the
game.
butcher.
And I think that yeah, absolutely, and that's what wins. That's what wins him. His tackles, his timing. He can leap quite high, but that's all about timing as well. You can't just jump high and miss the ball. You've got to jump
But
and timing as well, and he's got all
but
that.
here's one thing that I always say: it's a derby.
Yeah,
Form goes out the window. Everything goes out the window. I remember Scott McTominay when was that last? No, it wasn't. No, last time it was a shambles. Like we
no,
lost,
last
but the
time
derby.
was 4-1 and 2-0 before that. So we conceded 6 against them last season and scored 1.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, but when we played them at Old Trafford, when Ollie was in charge, I think it was.
yeah.
But the winner was from Scott McTominay when he did this crazy,
Oh
with
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
celebrate.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was
That was
amazing.
keeper spilled it. Keeper played it out, didn't he? And then McTominay was
Yes.
running on the right
Yeah.
wing and just took like a long distance shot sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great finish. That and just the game was over, wasn't it? We'd love to see something like that tomorrow. McTominay injured still because there was rumours he was going to be injured.
I think he is. Yeah. I mean, I was watching the
Yeah,
press, but I didn't hear anything. The only thing he said injured was Maguire, and then you had Brendan Williams, of course, and he mentioned Tuan Sabi, which is a weird thing because I haven't seen Tuan Sabi
Wan-Bissaka,
since,
yeah,
and Wan Bissaka.
yeah.
But what about Wan Bissaka? I don't think. I mean, this Tuan Sabi, I feel sorry for, like, because I remember he took on Mbappe and everyone, like,
That
in
was great.
PSG. He was so good, but
Yeah,
it's just a player that hasn't been given a chance. And Eric Bailly, I saw him on the preseason. He was a beast, but I
yeah.
don't know.
He's just too injury prone, isn't he?
All right. But if we're speaking about goals, I saw one highlight, and there was Benjamin Sheshko. He took it really, really nice. The bicycle kick. Slovenia.
No, that's it. No, I've
You
not
didn't
seen
see
it.
it? Oh, yeah.
No.
Oof. Oof. We were actually in for him in the summer, right? Because Elvis Bosanovic, who is his agent, they were talking to United for quite a while, but he ended up going to Salzburg. What was it? Another RB team, Red Bull. So, but it's a typical thing, like, the player doesn't feel ready. It's similar to during Timber, right? Timber was
Yeah.
in talks. Timber was actually convinced to come, but he
Yes.
decided, like, I'm not ready yet. He was a little bit chicken shit. He got scared. Sorry for the word, but he's still young. He still feel like, okay, I need to play World Cup. I need to develop a little bit more. But look out for next year. Look out for next year. And same with the Gapco as well in
Yeah,
January.
he's been brilliant. Why we haven't gone for him, I don't know. I mean, I know we've obviously got the Ronaldo situation, but I think that yeah, well, we just if we miss out on him, I think we missed out on a real
Right.
good opportunity. I'd love to see him come in January before it gets to the end of the season, but
Well, Gapco was on his way, actually. I know that Van Nistelrooy and United, they made a gentleman's agreement, on 45 mil. But what
right,
happened then? It wasn't a priority for United at that point in time. I think it was because of
yeah,
Ronaldo. Yeah.
yeah.
So, but what about Ronnie? What do you think? Do you think he's going to start, or do you think he hasn't? I don't know.
No, I don't think he will start. I mean, he obviously played for Portugal, and he did all right. He didn't score anything, but he played all right. Obviously, the Portugal game, I don't know if you saw any of that, but with Dallo
No,
with two goals from Dallo in one game,
talk about
and
some.
Bruno, I think he had a goal and 2 assists
Mm.
while they were away this time. So they are both on form at the moment. Ronaldo was on the pitch. I didn't get to watch much of the game, to be fair, so I can't really comment on how he performed. I've only seen the statistics at the end of it. He's played, but he's not on the score sheet again, and he wasn't on the assists either. So, what sort of difference is he making? I honestly don't know. I think he at the end of the day, he is the GOAT, has been the GOAT, however way you want to look at it. But performing at the age of 37 at the level that's expected of him in the Premier League, which is the toughest league in the world, I just think it's perhaps a step too far. And maybe it's a confidence thing, and to say that about Ronaldo seems strange, but I think with any player, when they are on a down and they're on a goal drought. I mean, I know he scored his penalty now, so he's kind of essentially broke the back of that.
Yeah.
But and maybe that is the way forward. I don't know, but to score a goal from open play is what he needs. I think
he needs, because he hasn't really kicked on the season. Like I think it's the worst season he ever had. Right. I don't know if it's a confident thing. I don't know what happened to him in the summer. He had some family issues. Of course, he's lost condolences. His missus lost a child. It's never an easy thing to do. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, we keep forgetting the footballers are human beings as well, like with emotions. This is the way I see it, right? It's so easy to be like, a keyboard warrior and call them names and memes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you keep forgetting that they are humans, right? They have feelings. And they might say they're not reading tweets or stuff like that, but every single player is today's market. They're all about their image, the brand, the social media. It wasn't like the way with Roy Keane's when we didn't have the social media, like, it was on the Sunday papers, like, and they didn't give a shit like what people were writing about them anyway. But now it's just like, image rights and stuff like that, which is part of the contracts, and they make, millions and millions out of it. So I mean, he needs. I mean, I have my critics. Like, I love the guy to pieces. Like, I remember when he came over, like, as a youngster from Portugal. Like, he's from Madeira, basically in Portugal. So, for me, it's sad to see, like, the downfall. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because you remember the greatness, and you remember when he used to run down the wing, like, he was lightning fast. He was like doing his step overs, left, right, center, and now, I don't know if maybe he needs a little bit of a chance. Maybe he hasn't started yet, right? So, and we are not so blessed with strikers at the moment. I just hope that Martial is coming back. He's training, apparently he's doing well. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But Martial was superb, like in the pre-season.
Good, good start, good pre-season, and a good start to the season, wasn't it? And then obviously an injury took him out again, which is again just unlucky for him. But is that an ongoing concern? I think with Ronnie, when you look at what Son did for Spurs last week or the week before last, sort of thing, when, in the last Premier League game, it was just absolutely phenomenal. He just he came on with, I think it was 20 minutes to go, and got his hat trick, won the game, scored an absolute screamers and fully deserved his plaudits. And I think he is confident to be straight back. And I think that's what Ronaldo needs. I think he needs a goal for open play. And I think starting him would be a mistake, because he's not going to be able to keep up with the pace of City. That's my opinion.
I was thinking about it earlier, like, and it's interesting you mentioned we will go through the starting 11 later on, right? So I think we both have the the same starting 11. But I was contemplating to think, actually, I'm not sure. I'm thinking Ronaldo will start. I have some sneaky feeling. It's a big game.
Right, okay.
It's City, big game. Rashford just came in. He's just coming back from injuries, training.
True.
So I might think that Ronaldo will start and Rashford will be the substitute. I think
come on when they're a bit tired and use his pace to.
Absolutely, because with Rashford, we have a chance. Because they're not so fast in the back. I mean, on the other hand, I like to see Dos Santos also doing his tricks. I mean, considering now he's properly embedded, he had a couple of weeks in Manchester.
How do you think he started off?
Wicked. Absolutely smashing, I think. It's, I mean, yeah, you come to a new country, you come to Manchester. It takes time. It's like starting a new job. Like, you got to know your colleagues. You
Yeah,
got
good
to,
and bedding.
find your comfort zone, right? So, you know, Bruno was an exceptional. He's a freak of nature anyway. He just hit the ground running, whatever. Like, Bruno is Bruno. And this Bruno is actually, yeah, he's really good now. Ericsson as well. We got Ericsson
Oh,
for free.
Erling, he's made the difference,
Ridiculous.
hasn't he?
I mean,
I think he's our most important, one of our most important signings. When you look at what the signings, I know we're not here just talk about signings. It's supposed to be like the United City sort of show sort of
yeah,
thing, but I think when you look at what Eriksen has done, and the signings that Ten Hag's made, he's made them well, hasn't he? He showed he's strengthened the back, which with the Malacia was an absolute genius, stroke of
means
genius. Because I mean, he is. You can. I mean, he obviously
I
seen
love
him
that player.
while he was in the Eredivisie, and he knew what he could get of him, and you just thought he's coming.
God.
And even after the first game, even though he didn't last long, I think he lasted 45 minutes first game. He was brought off, but at the end of the day, straight away after that, it was just like, yeah, you're in the Premier League now. That's what it's about. You've seen the pace, you've seen the strength, and now you need to adapt to it. And he's adapting very quickly.
Standish,
But
I have
tomorrow
so
will be
much
a big.
salt to throw back on all the rivals, on all the Twitters. Throwing back. How much did we bought Malasia for? 17, 15?
15 million, yeah.
Yeah. And he's absolutely smoking it, right? I even see Luke Shaw, and
Yeah.
Luke Shaw is saying, what the hell happened? I was the first choice now
You've got
sitting
Luke
on the
Shaw doing
bench.
it differently, isn't it?
Huh?
He's come out Luke Shaw's come out this week and said, after the England game, he knows he didn't start well enough. He deserved to lose his place. Maybe not word for word, but he deserves to lose his place, and he knows he's got to fight hard to get back in it.
Yeah.
And that to me is the right attitude. I think part of Maguire's issue is that he's come out and said comments like, "Well, all the managers have picked me, and I've done quite well for the team," and it's like, you should just be honest and say, I've made mistakes. I need to work harder, and I guess if I don't improve it, and it's going to impact my starting position. If he come out and say something like that, he gets so much more respect. But I think he's not helping himself with what he's saying off the pitch, as well as the talking he's doing on the pitch as well.
Yeah, you mentioned a very interesting point that there's been a lot of talk. Basically, the guys that don't get much game time are the ones that are leaking out in the press, and blah blah blah. Mark Ogden, when people are saying that he made up the story about Maguire, etc., etc. Like but why are they? I mean, you should be criticized for your performance on the pitch not being like protected, right? But it's so nice to sort of criticize foreign players, like like Pogba got a lot of stick before, and all the foreign players. It's like you can go home, go out and buy Chinese and everything, but still come home and have a cup of tea, and toast and those kind of things. It's British, but still,
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person. I'm just gonna go say, you know what? You haven't been good on the pitch. You haven't been good on training. The ones that improved, Scott McTominay, hats off. It's a different Scott from last year. I actually last year thought, well, why are we playing Scott McTominay when we're playing Fred? But everyone is kind of elevated.
I think it was the two together. They made each other look weak.
Yeah. I mean, I think just it's the manager effect. I think they took everything what Eric has to say, and they worked on it and improved. The peoples that were kind of ignored, I mean, I believe that you see it. It's a mentality thing, like it's the ignorance. Am I allowed to say Harry Maguire doesn't have the mentality to do so? Am I allowed to say that he's a Manchester United player? He is under contract, but does he act like one? No, he doesn't. He doesn't act like a Manchester United player. He doesn't act like a captain at all. So he lost a lot of respect from my end. Luke Shaw, I never had any problem with. Luke Shaw has always been great. But everyone, yeah. Except last year, he had after World Cup. No, was it World Cup? Europa League? No, Europa League.
Yeah.
European Championships. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a shocker, I think, and same with Marcus as well. I mean, the whole squad last season was just like we never kicked in. It was just like, what the hell's going
Yeah.
on?
And I think that's it. Everybody's poor performance had an impact on the next person. We were always looking for that saviour. And Bruno, who was our saviour the year before, he was so badly affected. Whether it was morale or I'm not sure, confidence, I don't know. But what I do know is that everybody, including Bruno, have been our best player. I mean, you've still got to look at Ronaldo last year. He was our top goal scorer, and he gave us a chance to get into Europe because of his goals. And he wasn't the only one, but he did make a difference last year. I think, as you mentioned earlier, his pre-season has been his biggest mistake. But for whatever reason, whatever that personal situation was, not coming out, not making it clear. He's posting a couple of pictures of him in a pair of United shorts doing his training and stuff, but still not actually making any comments.
Yeah.
He just didn't do himself any favours. He never made it clear whether he wanted to leave or stay. He didn't have the fans behind him, I think, for the first time in his career. And I think all that has had an impact on him. You don't hear Ronaldo being sung from around Old Trafford. You do occasionally, but not like it used to be. And I think it's all having an impact on him, where he's used to being number one. And now he's not. He's fighting for his position for the first time in his career since he moved from Sporting to United.
Yeah.
And
he's not used to it.
It's having an impact on him. Not at all. And he doesn't know what to do. And he's not starting. So even when he does start, he's not having a good game. He's still throwing his arms down at the side because he's like fuming because the ball hasn't quite landed to him, or he's blaming himself because he jumped too soon or he headed it too hard. Or
I'm thinking maybe I'm out of line, but just what you said. Don't you think it's an Erik ten Hag thing? What I'm trying to say is that he's not starting him deliberately. He's trying to spark him, basically. Come on, show me what you got.
Yeah.
Right? So for years, it's like you're the king, right? Or you're the trillionaire in the house, right? You get everything that you want, Money buys you everything. I'm just painting you the analogy.
Yeah.
So you're just thinking after a while that, hey, I can do whatever I want because I'm the king here. You know what I mean? So no matter what, I don't have to work as hard. I will still get picked. But I think Erik ten Hag is he's a prick behind the scenes, I think, But he's fair. But I think he's like, nah, my rules are the highway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, so many journalists have come out and said things just like that about the fact that what's going on behind the scenes, and if you don't, I think
Melissa Redding from Sky has spent a lot of time with Erik. I don't know if she has some exclusive. She always interviews him.
Yeah,
but she has a lot of insights. I don't know. I've seen him live. He's a monster, right? I wouldn't mess with him. I almost said the F word. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mess with him. You can tell that he's a humble guy, right? Very doesn't like press, doesn't like media, doesn't like to talk. He likes action,
Yeah.
Yo. He's like, okay, hey. You want Frankie? Hey.
that first press conference was just brilliant. When he was first introduced, and he was just like,
Yep.
And then it was like Dexter would follow sort of thing. And the minute he asked a question he didn't like, he was like,
he goes, you will see Sunday, hey? Who's going to play? You will see Sunday, hey? It's like, and the press is gone like, we don't like him.
Yeah, what can we write? What's he give us? Nothing?
No, he doesn't give away much. But his English is starting to be better and better. Another thing that I'm still baffled on and that I want to talk about, because we're going to go through the lineup very soon. I still see some agenda against David De Gea, my keeper.
Yeah.
Why?
I think at the end of the day, when you look at a goalkeeper, whether you're talking from grassroots to all-stars to retirement, whatever it is, when you're in goals, you're the last person in the lineup, and if that ball goes, your mistake is highlighted more than anybody else's. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Because you were the one who let the goal in. You were the one who didn't quite get to it. You were the one who let it slip through your hands. You were the one who should have dived quicker. But you forget that before the ball got to the goalkeeper, it's gone past 10 other players.
Yeah.
It's 10 other players it's gone past. It's simple as that. Even if it's from kickoff, it's gone past other players in one way or another. As a team, we didn't defend. And I think he took, like everybody else, took a hit last year. I think Hendo, when he came in, seemed to do all right, but there was obviously something going on behind the scenes, and we've seen a little bit of that with his little comments since he's left. Whether he ever gets to come back, I don't know. He's not been great at Forest. I think we saw the best of him at Sheffield when he was there, and he was fantastic. He did have a good defence in front of him, an unknown defence, but the whole lineup of being there with his defence in front of him was absolutely fantastic. But I think for Forest, he's just not done it. I mean, I've seen some clips, some memes of him making some big mistakes. And I think when you look at De Gea's performance this season, I think he's made one or two bigger mistakes. I think there was one the other week.
Yeah, I know.
Brentford game, which was a total write-off, that game, let's be honest. And I think he's made one or two others, but he's also started to make one or two saves again, which we've not seen from him for a while.
Absolutely.
So, so let's see what comes of that. But I think it'll be good.
No,
to see
I think Dave has always been Dave for me. Like, people forget how many times he actually saved our last season. Actually, he was year after year. I don't know if people are blind or what lenses they're looking at, but I know my Dave, and I've seen a different David De Gea this year. The guy is literally running off his lines. He never comes off your line. He's improved his ball distribution, his feet.
That's Ten Hag again, isn't it? Yeah.
That's Ten Hag. You saw that in pre-season. Like, what the hell's going on? De Gea is outrunning. Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's always stayed in his line too much. I mean, when he first came from Atletico, the Premier League bullied him, let's be honest.
Yeah.
The first probably 8 to 10 games, to the point where eventually, he was took out the starting lineup. And he needed to bulk up. He needed to be tougher. And I still think he has that weakness in his game. He's a great shot stopper, which is his key. I think that's his best attribute, is shot stopping. So when that let him down last season, I think that's why the fans have jumped on him, because that's De Gea. His shot stopping. He sticks his foot out and makes that save that not many other goalkeepers would make, because the way
he's brilliant at that. No, he's there's different types of goalies.
They think they'll go low, but he throws split legs out, box kick or whatever you call it, where both legs go out, and he just suddenly makes that save, and it's like he had no right to make that. But he also made long stretches and dives and top corners. But last season he wasn't making those. So his errors of his distribution and everything was highlighted even greater. So because he wasn't doing anything good, and I think that was why.
I mean, I keep thinking that I'm thinking there was one goalie. He never came back from a mental illness, right? He was tipped to be one of the greatest goalkeepers. He was the best in the youth class. He came from Germany, played for Liverpool, and since then he's just disappeared. Karius, remember him?
Oh yeah, he had that shocker in the Champions League, didn't he?
Champions League. He never recovered ever since then. He's just been like mentally. Can you say that?
He's been mentally messed up.
Mentally messed up, because that meant a lot. As you said, like as the goalkeeper, how many times did the ball pass through 11 different players, but your only job is to stop the goal, and he did this massive I think he did 2 mess ups, but that guy has never been seen again. Basically, he just totally collapsed.
Was done, wasn't it? Yeah, he was done.
So it's a tough game. It's a tough game to be a goalkeeper. So for me, I want to sort of end that discussion. We also have Dubrovka. I don't think that Hendo will come back at all. That ship has sailed for me.
Quite probably, yeah.
So, I mean, there was a lot of hype. I never saw the hype. I said, okay, he's just a young goalkeeper. He needs more loan spells. He's not a first teamer as of yet. And plus, De Gea is still like in his prime, He's in his prime.
I think with Hendo, when he was playing for United, he was playing really well. He wasn't making very many mistakes. And when he played for Sheffield, the same. you could see his ball distribution was much greater than what De Gea has, and I would say it probably still is, because De Gea's distribution is shocking. I've never seen like stats off like Opta or anything like that.
Which game was that? Was it Champions League or Europa League when it was when he did the ball distribution and people thought he went over the line, but he didn't. It was just curving like that. It was a goal. Who scored it?
Yeah, he played it down the right wing, didn't he? Was it
the right wing? Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So he can do it, but if you look at his statistics on his success rate, that's what I'm looking for. On his success rate, it's really low, and that is what he has got to develop in his game. If he wants to be the number one goalkeeper in the world, he has got to develop his distribution, because that cost us so much.
Yeah,
so many times.
You can say in summary that the game is changing. It's evolving. I mean, if you look at ball playing center backs, ball playing goalkeepers, playing like as an extra defender, playing high line, you have to be good at the feet. Before, they didn't have to. You know what I mean? They were just like, you're a goalkeeper, you're there to show. Old fashioned De Gea. Yeah. Nowadays, you have like the extra man as a center back, right? But the revolution or evolution is Martinez for me. Like, the likes of him is like, I've never seen anything like it, 178 tall, 176, 175 centimeters though. But technically gifted, can carry the ball, can play, center mid. But I want to see more of Casemiro, by the way. I want to see more of Cas. Haven't seen much of him. Shall we go over the lineup?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
So you and me, we discussed the lineup before. Let's switch over. Can you see that? Yeah, I can see you. Oh, there you are. You're the coach.
Yeah.
You Guardiola.
Oh, thanks for that.
So basically, I agree with you, but why don't you start going over what you picked, Phil?
Yeah, I think at the moment, when you look at the way the team's been playing, I think it almost picks itself. I've gone with obviously De Gea in nets, like we said. He's the man on form at the moment, certainly for ourselves.
Did you write dog?
Left back, he's definitely. Say again.
Did you write dog or? Sorry, I can't see without my glasses.
David De Gea, yeah.
I thought you wrote dog. Yeah, he's a dog. Yeah.
No, I'm not insulting him. Malacia at left 100%, back, because
100% agree.
I think when you look at the way he's playing, he's got a kind of a mix of different defenders in him. So he does do the like sort of Wan-Bissaka spider tackle, if you like, but he does it at the right time. I think he did it earlier on in the season, and he made a mistake, and you almost felt like Ten Hag was going to take him off and say, do that again, and you'll be off. You almost felt that was coming, and then from then he seems to stay on his feet a lot more. He still does do a lunge tackle.
You have the butcher, and that's the pairing. I call them the butcher and the pitbull, right?
Yeah,
they're amazing, And then on the right side you have Varane and you have Dalot. Dalot, for me, it's just such a, I don't know. People were ruling him out. Even I was ruling him out. It's like, there's no chance. He's still young. There's been plenty of development, and you said he braced 2, right?
In one game, yeah.
So we're seeing a Dalot that we haven't seen before, and the guy is still 22, right?
Yeah.
Plenty years and plenty sprints in the tank yet. He's still developing.
Yeah, Mourinho said when he bought him, he could be one of the best right backs in the world. He could be. I'm not saying
Mourinho
he is. I'm not
sees something. Yeah.
I'm not putting those words out there right now, but that was pretty much what Mourinho said.
But don't you see what coaching can do to you?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's starting to develop, isn't he? And give the chance as well, because he was given the belief over Wan-Bissaka.
I'm gonna have some chocolate. Do you mind?
Go for it. When you see the statistics from, I think it was from last year or from last year or something like that, or the last few years, Wan-Bissaka is still in the top 10 in the world for the highest, most successful tackles.
100%.
And you go, well, how is he not in the starting lineup when everyone saw what Dalot was doing last year? But Ten Hag's come in and said, no, I want the height. He really wants the height. You can see that with the way, apart from obviously Martinez. But in the back, he knows that there's that weakness down the wing, and whether I think the fact that Dalot stays on his feet a lot more makes a big difference, because Wan-Bissaka going down, the minute a player goes past him, it's too late. He's in.
But
and I think Dalot's learning on the job.
Dalot has improved defensively heaps, but Dalot is more technical gifted going forward with his step overs and his technical flair. That's the only reason why I think he'd get picked.
I think we're seeing more of that, because last season Wan-Bissaka, when he was getting to the front, his crosses in were shocking. We've not had anyone yet replace Valencia. He was brilliant right back. I'm not saying he's been the best ever, but in recent times, our right back, he was the best, because he could defend, he could get down the wing, and when he got down the wing, that cross was coming in on that shot. Yeah,
you can put it like this, Phil. That was back then when Ollie bought him. That was like what he needed then, because we needed that type of player with Maguire. That doesn't suit this type of play right now. It doesn't. The guy was brilliant with his spider legs, so I still rated him, but now I just don't see it. So him and Maguire are the. I must say it was kind of desperate buys, kind of pressure from Ole to buy. And that's why Leicester came in and slapped us with 75 million, 80 mil. Do you want? Hey, here you go. Erik ten Hag came in May, had a look at it. He was with Mitchell van der Gaag sitting on the stand. It's like doing like this. No. No. But he had to play the game to say, he's still the captain. He's still going to play, blah, 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 blah. They're not going to go out in public and say, nah, he's shit. He's going to, they're not a Conte,
no,
or Mourinho, sort of thing.
No, not at all. But I think
okay, so
yeah, and then obviously Varane in the middle with Martinez. We've already discussed Martinez and Haaland and what potentially could come of that. Varane, I think, his positioning and pace is going to make a difference to any movements that Martinez makes.
He's fit this year.
I think with Eriksen and
Camavinga.
And
Casemiro. Did I say Camavinga?
Camavinga, yeah, that's another dream that went by. But with Eriksen and Casemiro, I think Eriksen, we've seen it already. He comes back and defends, and he has made some great tackles. He's also made some big mistakes coming back too far. And I think with the experience of Casemiro, who's also made mistakes, to be fair, many. You
know why?
I think it makes adjusting to the speed of the Premier League.
It's Old Trafford as well. What do you reckon? Yeah, I mean, you're nervous. It's new league, new crowd, new expectations. You saw that Eriksen in the first game, he did some mistakes backwards. Yeah. But, he did. Who wouldn't? I would shit my shorts if I come to Old Trafford. Playing at the big stadium, the crowd is pumped up. The atmosphere is amazing. Of course you make mistakes. It's, that's why they play always better away than from home. Like last year, for instance, to be honest. But I think Casemiro is world class. 5 Champions Leagues. Come on, seriously. It's just an embedding period. So yeah, I think at this game, I agree with you. We're not going to play on the front foot. We're gonna go man to man here. I believe that the midfield that you picked, it's definitely going to match their midfield. Camavinga, you said Eriksen, and Bruno as number 10, right?
Casemiro, we have not got Camavinga.
Why am I saying Camavinga? I wanted Camavinga.
We all did, but that didn't happen. But no, Casemiro, absolutely. I think.
And don't ask me where Frankie is.
Yeah, I think you might get 1 or 2 people asking you that. So we want Frankie.
We want Frankie. Huh?
I think with Casemiro, I think he will be disappointed with his own performances.
Yes,
he knows what he can do. He knows what he's done throughout his career, and he will be disappointed in himself. And hopefully, this break well, they've had the European games,
Yes,
will be a chance for him to sort of sort those issues out.
I believe
Especially
so.
the fact that McTominay being injured, if that's true, then I think Casemiro is most likely to start. We could be surprised. It could be Fred.
No, I don't
He still
think so.
plays well for Brazil, but I think Casemiro will start above him based on his experience. But again, has he got the pace of the Premier League? We are yet to see it, whether he can match that. Because he's
I
got
think,
De Bruyne.
as I said to you before, like it's starting a new job, new colleagues, new atmosphere, new changing room, new caretakers, new cafeteria, new canteen staff. Everything is new. The guy literally spent how many years in Real, right? And all of a
Yeah.
sudden you change your employment, right? You change jobs. You get, so it's that thing. I think he will become good because he's world class. So totally agree with your selection there.
Yeah.
What have you done for the? Are you put Sancho on the left wing?
Yeah. Sancho on the left. I think I would struggle more if Martial would be fully fit. I'm not quite sure which way that Ten Hag's going to go when he's
No, I
got
don't think
full
so.
because he's not had it yet. But I think in terms of wings, I think Martial and Rashford have both shown their pace through the middle can make the difference. I think Sancho and Anthony cutting in from the sides are the strongest in that position, which is why I've put them both in. I do think that Anthony, like Casemiro, like Eriksen, has been okay, but has also had a couple of struggles. I think he thought, he's tried a couple of things where you've seen him trying it, which is good to see for starters, him actually trying it. And then thought, that didn't quite come off. They're a bit quicker here, or they're a bit rougher here, or I didn't quite get as much time on the ball here. I think again, he's obviously really young. He's a massive price tag on his head.
Oh, he's still young. He's young.
But he's got his first goal against Arsenal straight away, which and then I think he's not had more than 70 minutes. I don't think yet, and I don't think that's because he's tired. I think because Ten Hag's thought, okay, you've done what you can. Let's see what else you can do now. And I think we could see the same again tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, no, he's good. He's good. I had information that he's all right. It was just he's been settling in. He's fine. He's humble. He's very he's super gassed. His representatives are super gassed. His play management are super gassed that he scored on his debut. You don't know how much it means, because for the player itself, it means a lot, and this is your memory for life. You come on Old Trafford, your debut, and you score, like every boyhood's dream, and you saw how he went. He's trying to find this badge, it's gone, where is it? Where is it? Running to the wrong end as well. So no, absolutely confirmed that he's over the moon. He's doing well. He's in a good camp. There's a lot of good mates there, good Brazilians, Casemiro. There's a lot of Portuguese speaking, so he's settling in fine. That's what I heard now, just last week from a chat. So he's all good, and I'm really happy for them as well because it's a brilliant move. Coming from Sao Paulo to Eredivisie, it's similar. You're coming from we call it the emerging markets, right? From an agency side. So, they come from the emerging side, the emerging market, it's a farmer's market, and they go to, a tier 2 club in Europe. And the next step is it's like a building a brick house, till you come to the roof. And this was his dream move. United was his dream. So
I think that was quite clear. I mean, you saw.
He's a fan of United. Yeah, he is.
But you can see the genuine. I mean, some people sign for a club, and you can kind of smiling for the camera, but you just felt that he was smiling off camera. He couldn't wait. You've read reports saying, or I think I saw an interview saying where his family were saying, "Is it going ahead? Is it going? Is it going to happen? Is it going to?" They were excited for him. Everyone was on board. This was like a massive move. This isn't like, oh, go on, I'll have to go to United because nobody else wants me. He wanted to play for us, and that is what the fans want to see. They want to see players who want to play for us, whether that be Frankie de Jong or whoever it may be, who comes in January or next year, or if they do or don't come.
But I was told
wants to play for the club.
I was told that he's always been a secret United supporter, United fan. He wanted to come here, but he was super nervous to meet his idol. Guess who that is?
It's not Ten Hag. It's Ronaldo.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cristiano. He's like, you imagine like you're coming to Old Trafford to
I know.
Carrington, and then, hello, hi, how are you?
Well, that's it. You walk into the training room that first time into the
But
changing room for the
you
first day of
generally
training.
saw that when he scored the goal. You saw Cristiano Ronaldo on the touchline. He was like,
You did.
yeah,
Yeah, he was clapping as well, wasn't he? Like really, like, and the
because he
cameras go
knew how
straight
much
to
that
him. You see his
means,
reaction.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did the same thing when he came to United. He scored in his debut, didn't he?
Who did? Sorry.
Ronaldo. So he
What, this time
knows.
against Newcastle
Yeah, no. When Ronaldo came as a 17-year-old, when Sir
against
Alex brought
Bolton?
him in. Yeah. So he
He didn't
scored in
score
his
in his
debut.
debut, did he?
Yeah, I think he did. Ah, hang on, am I clogged up? Anyway, but the point is that he knows what it means to be a young lad coming to United wearing that
Yeah.
badge,
Yeah.
and the way he slapped that badge, just like, you beauty, you know what I mean?
Do you know who else I think is like that? Who cannot wait to make the mark at United? Is
Who?
Garnacho.
Yes,
Garnacho.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
believe so. Garnacho. I
I
spoke
think
to.
some good cup runs this season. He's not going to get a game starting in the Premier League, I don't think, because we have got Sancho, Rashford, Martial, Anthony,
I
Ronaldo.
had an interview with
All
his agent, and they're super patient. They're super gassed. There is something special about that boy. But the fact is that United bought him for £475,000 in
really
2020. Yeah. So
right.
basically, yeah, it's a funny story how that ended up, because he only stayed 6 months in what was it, Atletico Madrid, right?
Yeah.
Atletico bought him from Argentina. He only stayed 6 months, and United came and swooped him in, right?
Mm.
For £475,000. But we've seen some really special glimpses about this boy. He's lightning fast on the left. So
Yeah.
we're good,
Well, yeah. Well, I've seen it for when he's playing for like the under 21s or Premier League 2, whatever they call it nowadays. Um, but yeah, he's definitely showed his talent in the Youth Cup last season. What he did in that final, just the way he played with it, his heart on his sleeve, and he just
Yeah.
gave his all. And you just know that.
75,000 in the crowd. Yeah.
And in the pre-season as well, when he had his chances, he looked good. You thought he's going to be a starter, he's going to have his chance. But
Mm.
obviously, Ten Hag just thought, no, right, okay, we've seen what you can do. We'll keep you training with us, and when your chance comes, hopefully he'll take it. Like so, he'll get his chance.
Yeah. I'm switching back. We've been on the predicted lineup for a while. So the rest is kind of Rashford. And of course, I've been saying I think Ronaldo will start. I don't know. I have a funny feeling it's a big game. It's not I don't think it's a game where you're quite to press. The game will be in the midfield. It will be a midfield battle. I think so. Not sure. But if Rashford is fit, then better watch out, because I think my score prediction. Who will go first?
Go on, you go
Paper,
first.
scissors, rock. Paper, scissors, rock. Bag. Okay, I go. I always get it right, but this time I have a sneaky feeling it's going to be win. Manchester's going to be
Two.
red.
Okay.
We are going to be the noisy neighbors, because, of course, we are more. They don't have fans. They have to buy the fans. Sorry, guys. I think it'll be 2-1 United. I think it'll be 2-1. We will be
I'd love to
one.
see it too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll be 1-1 up. 1-0 United, then 1-1. And then at the very end, we will score like a 2-1, like, Fergie time thing. It will be a classic.
I've got it as a 1-1 draw,
I know.
and I think the reason being is I'm not sure we're going to have to play more defensive. So are they going to leave the gaps for the counter attack? It depends whether it's a chess game or it's an all-out battle. Rashford just getting player of the month, Ten Hag getting manager of the month. Feelings are quite high in camp. if we could come out with a win, it would be fantastic.
I
And
think we'll win.
I'll be screaming for the win throughout the
Me
whole
too.
game. Like, um,
I'm not nervous at
but
all.
I'm not nervous. I'm looking forward to it. You
Yeah,
know,
bring it on.
yeah, absolutely.
Give
I
me.
think with what we saw against Liverpool, we were a bit nervous then because we thought that's going to be the undoing of us. And when we showed up, it was like, it really isn't. We've actually
I,
been the undoing of Liverpool.
I
So
think
if we can come out this weekend,
I'm confident. I'm cured from the PTSD from last year and all the other years. But I see people still on Twitter still on PTSD. Like, oh my God, they're so careful. Like, so even fan content creators are like being very careful and like, saying, nah, we're gonna finish fifth, sixth. And so on. Screw that. We're united. We're gonna finish first, second. Come on. Can't you see what's going
let's
on?
do
Viva la
let's
revolution.
do this.
So it's just as a fan, why should you lower down your standards? You should be like, why slag yourself down in your team? You should back yourself up, because looking at the squad that we have, look at we start kicking on, like, in terms of how we gel, how we play as a team. You see the whole team is now defending properly.
Yeah.
One thing that I was just like, when I saw Anthony Dos Santos tracking back and defending, and like you didn't see
Yeah.
Rashford or anyone do that last year. Maybe Dan James did when he was playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was just like, wow. And you see how they defend like a pack and how they attack as a pack. So it's a
Yeah, it was
totally different.
Casemiro and Anthony, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Casemiro and Anthony made that one tackle. It was
Yes.
against,
Yes. So for
and
me,
that was like a moment.
so for me, I'm confident this season. I don't know why. I just have this funny feeling in my, these butterflies, like you're in love. You know what I mean? When you meet a girl for the first time and, everything feels rosy and, you have butterflies. I'm in love with United again, to be honest. Like, it's just been you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
it
like
feels
an
good
old,
again, doesn't it?
yeah, it's like an old marriage, but it kind of faded away because you were abused, right? But then you went to
Harsh,
therapy.
but
I'm just using an analogy, 8 years of
I get it.
abusement,
Yeah.
right? And now there's hope again. Like,
Yeah.
there's there's something about Ten Hag. That's why I have him here, like my avatar. I created the avatar. You've seen these funny 3Ds, because he's for me he's I see Sir Alex Ferguson in him for some reason, a younger version. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
But more of a modern style, like,
Yeah,
and
I think it's the closest thing we've had, most definitely. I mean, we're still at the beginning of the season. Let's be honest. Let's not be under too many illusions. But at the same time, we've seen such a difference in such a short space of time. And when he went to Ajax, he didn't hit the ground running. It took him a little bit of time to settle. I saw an interview before he came, and it was from 2021, I think, or 2020, and basically he was being interviewed on the pitch at Ajax, and he was saying that whatever happens, you've got to be given time. You've got to be given the chance. Nothing changes overnight. You've got to learn about the team. You've got to learn what they can do, what they can't do, and he's done that in a very short space of time. And it's not over yet. He's got a lot to learn, but he's certainly going in the right direction.
That just proves how dedicated he was, because this was his dream move.
Yeah,
this was his chance. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
that was a turning point, wasn't it?
he left he left Ajax, went straight to Manchester. Straight, couldn't have vacation. No, this is my moment, right? This is my moment to the big stage. Ajax is not as big as club as United or Barcelona or Real. It's still Eredivisie. For him, it's just like coming here. It's like, I'm gonna prove, and I want United to be great again, and I'm gonna be the man. You know what I mean? And I believe in myself, and I bring coaches that believe in me, and I bring people that knows how to play my system. And that's why I was so pissed off with media, and everyone's like, he's just buying Dutch players, this and this and that, people. But why wouldn't you? If you know that you worked with a colleague before, right?
Know what
You're bringing in, yeah.
Yeah.
You bring him in. Like,
Well,
I know this guy is good. I played against him before. Like, he whooped my ass of my winger. Is bring him in. You know,
yeah,
I know that Martinez. They're
Malacia,
going to give him a stick.
Martinez. Yeah.
Martinez, no. Martinez is absolutely mint. Probably
It
the
doesn't
best.
matter where they're from. As you say, he knows that league, so he knows the players better than a lot of other managers who've not really dipped into that pond too much, and from that perspective, he's been able to think, okay, as you just said, this player is going to work, and not just know what they can do on the pitch, but their characters and what they're going to their attitude towards it as well, because that is such a big part of a
Absolutely,
transfer.
100%, Phil.
You can't,
100%.
he does.
100%. No, I'm just going to finish off with Martinez and Malacia. Probably with the best signings we had for a very, very long time. I haven't
Really.
seen any issues. They integrated very fast. There was one patchy moments in the first game we remember, but since then,
Brentford as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
like, it's very rare that you see that a new signing hits the ground running and just totally being the best centre back, player of the month. Even my guy Malacia, the pit bull. Come on, this guy is sick. You know what I mean? So I'm really happy to see a solid back line. We are happily not leaking any goals. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Like, if you're gonna go 12 rounds with Conor McGregor, of course you're gonna take a punch. Yeah, you're gonna receive a punch. You gotta. There's no chance you stand in 12 rounds without getting a punch.
Of course,
But
I know.
but still, it's far more better than last year. It's far more confident
Yeah.
than last year. We were leaking defensively. There was no confidence. The whole team morale was just deflated. And unfortunately, we had Ollie that couldn't manage properly. Like, he's rookie on the job himself. Kind of that Scandinavian style. Like, yeah. Like, it's no worries, no worries, no worries. So, but Ollie for me is always Ollie, like a legend of the game. But yeah, the last thing was kind of like, nah, don't do this. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose the memories of you as the legend. Like, just don't go
Yeah.
like this. Yeah, you know what I
I
mean.
know.
But it was a shambles at the end. Like, we had the keys to the Ferrari, like, as everyone was saying, but you didn't know how to drive the Ferrari. Like, you bought
Yeah.
Sancho, you didn't use Sancho in the right positions. It was just, what the hell's going
I
on?
know.
Like, you know what I mean? But this year, give it time. I think
Yeah.
Europa League is ours. Has to be.
Okay. Like
Should we go to
that.
Cyprus next week?
Yeah, you
As
got the ticket, no problem.
yeah, no. Yeah, we just if the missus lets you out from the man cave, let's go.
Yeah. Try and get some tickets.
I don't know. There is probably easier to get tickets than Old Trafford.
Yeah,
Most
it'd be
likely.
good. It'd be good if we can go there. Yeah, definitely. Working on it.
So my score prediction 2-1, maybe a 3-1, maybe a 3-2. But
Oh well, if
it's
you're
like,
doing it for a few out there, I'll go with 1-1 or 2-1. It's
well, I was right. I said 3-1 to against Arsenal, and I got
right.
3-1. On live stream. So I will stick to my guns. I will stick to 2-1. I will
Okay.
clip this later. But I have a sneaking feeling it will be 3-1.
That would be
United, though.
amazing. That would
Yeah.
be amazing.
We are in for a. I don't know. I'm just feeling confident. I don't know. I haven't felt like this for a long time. So when I'm saying this, I might get stick, but I think we will win 3-1, though. Absolutely.
I like that.
We will. And Pep Guardiola, he wouldn't know what's hitting him. It's going to be the. You like to
Let's
play
see.
football? Eh? You like Pep, hey? But Pep and Ericsson, how they know each other from Barcelona
They
times
do.
too. Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, Pep, hey.
Yeah, let's see what comes of that. Yeah.
You want a cup of tea, hey?
Cup of
So
tea.
yeah,
Yeah.
my friend, I don't have anything more to add.
Yeah, I think we've covered
Other
everything.
than just gas, excitement, I think I'm super tired. It's Friday. We just had the spontaneous stream. I don't know if anyone is kind of. I didn't even receive it. I don't know if the chat line is open. I haven't seen. But anyway, it's just been good chatting to you, Phil.
Yeah, you too.
What's the
Thank
plan
you.
for the weekend, other than Sunday?
Well, yeah, I think tomorrow, weather permitting, I've got a grassroots under 11s football team that
Oh, fantastic!
we've got a game tomorrow, mid afternoon, mid morning, 11:15. So hopefully that'll go well. That's the kind of main part of the day
Fantastic.
tomorrow. So yeah,
Wicked. What am I gonna do? Sleep.
yeah, you
I'm
could
gonna
do with
just.
that.
Definitely gonna sleep. I woke up at 3 a.m. And then I've been working since 3 a.m. this morning. I finished all the editing, and now I'm just gonna do the. I can't be asked. I gotta send it in for translation. Like there's an AI information, but
Yeah,
it's really really good. I'm really proud of it. It's a very touching story. It's gonna be called "The Good, Bad, and the Ugly." From the, it's looking at the overall. I knew how it was, but I want people to come on board to tell the story, because there's good guys, there's bad guys, and there's the ugly side, which they hijack each other's deals, and
yeah,
it's really
absolutely.
nasty. It's like a teenage fan club, kind of thing, right? So it's quite interesting to hear. And then there's the big guy and the small guy, right? So this was a beautiful story that this guy is, you know, he discovered all this talent and he got hijacked, by somebody, some hot shot to just for the money, right? So, and just proves that players sometimes can also be impatient, to be honest. Like, if I'm your stepfather, I put my hand around your, you come from a broken family, your dad was an alcoholic, your only way out was football, and I gave it to you. You don't know what I mean?
Yeah,
I taught you everything I knew. Like, I was like a father figure to you, and then you went with somebody else to a bigger club, and cut me out. So these things happen, right? It is just really, really sad. But, the the guy that I interviewed was just such a humble person, and I know him from before, and I have a lot of admiration for him. But there's a lot of things that agents that are, I can't tell you the names though, but the whole
yeah,
summer saga is just it's a shambles, right? So
yeah,
it's not always down to the players. So can also get down to the greedy agents, and they're not making the money they want to. And sometimes it's all about the money, and sometimes it's about, yeah, it's player first. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they don't make any money, right? Agents don't make any money until it's like a real estate, right? You're working on listing, and you only get paid while you're getting a loan, or like a leasing out, or selling the property. But till then, you're working 30, 24/7, phone always in your hand, 365 days a week. That's it. So it's quite it's 2 hours of editing, like, and I'm gonna release the first ground zero, and sorry for making a promotion for it, but and then this was such a beautiful story, so I cannot release more than 1 hour. It's gonna be 35 minutes, because otherwise
yeah,
I don't want you to lose the whole story. So I
yeah,
want you to watch the first episode and then air it the week after, to follow up, because it's such a
yeah.
beautiful story that can be split in two. Otherwise, it becomes like a Netflix 35 hour and a half, and nobody has the attention span to do it.
No, 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 that's right.
Yeah. And
And
then
on that note,
then I spoke to yesterday. I spoke to Donny van de Beek's agent, and we're gonna do something next week as well.
great, that'd be good.
So things
Look
are
forward to it.
getting busy. Yeah, things are getting busy. I told you I will do it.
You did,
But
yeah.
yeah, I basically came to life to, give hope to the fan base, to sort of, since I come from the industry. And but then I was thinking, well, I'm going to use my contacts and my mates that I used to work for as an intermediate and stuff like that, and just bring them on. And
Yeah,
it's more an educational, like, and it's not a FIFA career mode.
that'd be
It's
good.
not a, yeah,
Something to look forward to. Yeah,
eh, it's going to be a sort of educational form, like, so it's all good. And plus, exciting times are happening, like new rules, regulations with FIFA accreditations. the salary caps, what agents can take and that cannot take. It's going to be a full information show, so it's all going to be good. And plus the glazer out show also, like, I'm doing that. So I'm
It'll all be
seeing,
good. Plenty to
yeah,
look forward to.
yeah. It's in the making. It's going to be. I work on the graphics. I work on the scripting. It's top quality basically. I don't want to release anything that is.
No.
I got my style. But then, of course, there was Terry Lewis who was saying, like, nobody wants to work with him, and I said, yeah, well, I do. Like, I've been shouting out for this, like, let's get together, let's keep the energy. I can host it on my channel once, you can host it on your channel once, but apparently it's all about the clicks. And I can understand people have sponsorships and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, if you're really United supporter, you should put United first, and do it, like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, small fish, but you guys are bigger than me, right? You have like 50,000 subs. So, let's just do once a week or once every second week, just put the beef aside. I don't know what the beef is all about, but it's such a competitive market. Like, I'm just shocked, like, because people are like, DM me and say saying bad things, and it's all about competition. And it's like, I am not about the competition. I started this pro bono, and now I just discovered that, wow, almost 7,000 subscribers. Like, so and obviously
Yeah.
people are sending me lots of messages. Keep going, and this is my fuel, basically. You lot is the only ones why I kept this alive. It was never my intention, so I'm doing it. So I'm doing the Glazers out, and we are going to do the philosophy as well, right? Football Phil.
Absolutely. Yeah,
We are.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. It's been. So this was just a spontaneous. We said at 4 o'clock today. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, 4 o'clock. Let's go for it.
Yeah, I was walking my dog, and it's like, hey, what's up? He says, do you want to do a stream? Yeah, let's do it. Because for me, this is therapy as well.
Yeah, talk for everything. We might need therapy after the game, but we shall see.
Yep. All right, people. We've been streaming. We've been streaming 1 hour and 70 minutes. We're way overdue, but we had a good chat.
This was our 20-minute show. 20-minute show. This was.
Was supposed to be 20.
I think if anybody, if anybody is watching, it's give us feedback. Let us know your thoughts. Put comments, suggestions if you like it. Follow us, hit like, share, subscribe, and let us know. Let us know your feedback. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. Take a pause. Take a deep breath. It's so easy to forget. There's like this ding bell buttons there, and if you hit that, means that you will get notification when the next Glazer Out video is coming, where the agents shows are coming. And if you hit subscribe, you're actually supporting the community, where everyone can be somebody. Because I always say that, like, in genuine way, that I want everyone to come on this platform, have a say, no matter if you have five followers or 5,000 or 10,000. We all Manchester United supporters wherever we are in the world, like, that's through and through, and I always say, like, green and gold until we're sold. So yeah, we will keep the fight going.
Yeah, come on.
Mr. Standish, have a lovely evening.
Pleasure, Mr. Ruby. Thank you.
Viewers, thank you. Please come back. Please hit the like. Please hit the subscribe again. Wish you a fantastic evening or morning, wherever you are in the world. And let us know your score prediction. Come back, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Until then.
On the other
side. See you. Which side? The dark side? The blue moon?
The red side. The red side.
Seriously. We are good. See you guys.